but it's just been money hard. Money hard. You know that? Did you know that about life and money? Money hard. Money hard. I need a money person because money hard.
Jokes in the gym. Jokes in the gym. Not jokes in the gym. Jokes in the gym. Jokes in the gym. With Rudy Tyburczy.
Welcome to episode 90 of Jokes and the Gym. 90 straight weeks of this podcast going Jokes and the Gym with Rudy Tyburczy. I'm your boy, Rudy Tyburczy. Thank you for stopping by. Today, we're going to check in on how I'm feeling a month out of surgery and a month before another procedure. The shows, the things, what I'm tuning into, how it's making me feel a little less alien in my own body, and how football season, hoodie weather, and other things are making me enjoy the little things here in life. So, thank you for stopping by. Let's chop it up. What is up, my friends? Thank you for stopping by. Jokes and the Gym. This is 90 straight weeks of showing up to the pod. I am proud to say that I've been going for 90 weeks strong. I know it may not be the biggest, most successful or wild podcast there is, but you know what? I've been doing it this whole time, going through a lot, and I am glad that I can share my perspective, that I'm able to do so openly, that I've done it through a lot of challenges, and hopefully it's given some people some perspective and allowed you to feel a little more connected, a little less alone, giving you some ideas on how other people get through stuff as well. The first 50 episodes of the podcast were interviews, largely one-on-one interviews with other comedians, creatives, people in my life that are very important to me. And I look forward to getting back to some interview podcasts. I've been talking with some people lately, some previous guests, some new guests, and I'm thinking like maybe around episode 100, I'll start entering that interview space with other people. I'm excited to continue to do that. I want to talk with authors, people who are cancer survivors or brain tumor survivors, that kind of stuff, in addition to comedians and creatives, and also some people in the health and fitness industry as well, because that is where I'm in as well. And my life, I feel like the second half of it is going to take kind of a different turn in some ways, you know? But yeah, I'm happy to be here at episode 90. It's in the fall. I'm wearing a hoodie. It's hoodie weather. Oh my gosh. Sometimes a hoodie is just as good as medicine. It's just like, it's like I'm wearing soup. You know what I mean? I love wearing a hoodie. Just a cozy hooded sweatshirt. You put it on, you're like, oh, that's what I'm about. That's what life is all about right now. And I'm so happy to be here. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm just like wearing a mulligatawny right now. It just feels nice on my skin and bones, my aching, brittle, but strong and capable bones that are moving forward and getting better. I love it. And it's football season. I'm excited about that. I'm a fan of the sports, and I've been enjoying my bird teams. I got a couple bird teams that I'm excited about following. I'm an Eagles fan. I've been loving the Eagles for decades, and they're doing good so far. The Ducks are doing good, both green, both bird-based, and I'll happily give a caw for my boys, crushing it out there, literally and metaphorically as well. So it's been exciting to do that, and it's nice to share that with other friends and family. When friends or family go to games, they'll often send me a picture about what's going on, and that just feels nice. My sister and her husband were checking out the game last week, and that was pretty cool. And another friend of mine, he went to the Ducks game the week before. So having folks at games and checking the temperature, seeing how people are doing is a lot of fun. As far as how I am doing right now, I just hit a big milestone. Not only is this episode 90, but I'm a month out. Saturday, I was a month out from my brain surgery, 1 month post-surge, post-craniotomy. And Sunday, I was 1 month prior to my ablation, my heart ablation. So I'm in the middle of a lot of stuff right now. I got through the brain surgery. I'm chugging along. There's still stuff that I'm working on. I'm still working on growing that hair back, getting a new haircut. Um, let's see how this scar. It looks like I have a giant horseshoe on my head. This scar is going to be there forever. I wonder what kind of roles I'll be able to play in movie and TV. Like, what is this? A hitman? The kind of a stuff? A Viking warrior? Yeah, I'm excited to continue to get better. I feel it. My feeling like myself largely. I can't quite get back into working out, so I'm taking it easy. I'm trying to move around as much as I can. I'm doing these exercises to like loosen up the lymph nodes, where I just kind of like flap my arms around or twist around a little bit, that kind of stuff. I'm not doing strength training yet, not resistance training really, but just stuff to kind of get the blood flowing, loosen up the body, help me feel a little better. And it's going good. It's nice to go outside in the morning and just have some space to move around and not feel like I'm in a big hurry to do stuff. So I'm chugging along. And meeting with the doctor last week, I really appreciated. Let's see, what Dr. Kawada, the electrophysiologist that I met with, and it was really kind of I liked how straightforward he was, straight to the point. I have a rate control, so my heart rate is good, but it's the muscle. My upper chamber isn't firing, and the muscle is kind of weak. I have cardiomyopathy, so that's not exactly something I expected to have. But I think that's also related to the tumor, which was just causing so much havoc in the rest of my body, and it's a drag, but it's where I'm at. That's what life is right now. And so you can work your butt off, work your tail off, and it doesn't always mean that you're going to end up in this space that you thought you were. But I do believe that it is helping me to recover and helping me to feel like a human. The fact that I spent so much time in my life dedicating myself to health and well-being, I feel like it's getting me to the place I need to be in this recovery and giving me the opportunity, to still get better, even though it's not guaranteed. I'm in permanent AFib, so I'm like, it doesn't come and go. I'm in it, and that sucks. But the ablation that I'm scheduled for in a month, there's a chance that it will get me out of it. There's a big chance that it won't. There's less than a 50% chance that in 3 years I will still be in normal rhythm. But because of my age, because I'm just in my 40s, it's worth a shot. And so I'm excited about that. Even though my cardio version was unsuccessful. They shocked me 5 times. The anesthesiologist was like, we'd never seen that. I'd never seen that before. So I'm unique in that regards, which is stupid. He also, he said no more, booze, marijuana, coke, that stuff. He said that stuff can really contribute to a bad heart. And I've never done coke, but I know I drank too much in Korea and probably smoked too much in my life. But that's part of being an Oregonian, I think, at times. And I haven't since any of this stuff has happened. So I'm taking it easy, and I'm happy to do that. I always kind of thought, if a doctor told me not to do stuff, then okay, great. And that's what I've gotten. I remember like being at parties when I was younger and stuff, and there was coke going around or whatever. I never tried it. It was never for me. Even before any of this stuff, like I'm talking decades ago, more than 10 years ago. And even before I knew any of this stuff, knew it, I didn't trust my heart. I felt like something was off. I felt like I just wasn't the place for me to do that. And so I'm thankful that I listened to that inclination from my body and my mind and never went any further than just whatever. And so, but at the same time, I think it's probably largely to do with this tumor and deregulating my body and putting me in such a weird space that I never thought I would be. And so I'm not trying to like have all the answers or make total excuses for myself, but I know I didn't drink and party as much as a lot of people, and they're still out there drinking and partying more than I ever have. And so that a reason for me to go and be sad about not getting to do that anymore? No, but I think it gives me some perspective about where I'm at and what I could do or couldn't do or did or didn't do to get me to this point. So, I've also just always been a worker outer, and I continue to do what I can and move around. And I'm going to just adjust how I uh, my relationship with exercise moving forward. I'm gonna do less heavy strength training. Yeah, I believe in the value of strength training and resistance training, and I'm excited that I am a personal trainer and I can help people on those paths. But for me, I'm going to focus on ways that I can calm my nervous system, because that is what I think is going to help me the most moving forward. And yeah, I'll still do resistance training and strength training, but just not as intense, not as hard as I used to go. I used to just have that stupid, like, oh, I got to go bust my ass. And if I don't, if I'm not like a pile of muck at the end of my workout, it wasn't worth it. No, that's inappropriate. That's not correct. That's not what I'm about. And that's just not the way for me moving forward. But I do believe, lean muscle mass is a key ingredient to a long and healthy life. So make sure that you're working on that, but just make sure not to overdo it. And find ways, listen to your body, find ways to do it that are enjoyable, sustainable, safe, healthy, productive. Try to get stronger over time. We want to have a an increase over time. We want to trend upwards, but it's not always going to be a straight line upwards. Recognize that. So if you're not hitting your PRs every day, if you're not making everything, you're not getting totally stronger every week, that's okay. I know people who try every time they go to the gym to beat PRs, and that's a fine goal. Numbers help you, especially if you're trying to get bigger, trying to get stronger, all that kind of stuff. So the numbers help you gauge where you're at and the progress that you're making. So do I think that that's awful? No, I do not. Studies show that getting stronger leads to muscle gain, and muscle gain leads to a long and healthy life. So those are good things, right? But we also want to make sure that we're listening to other parts of our body, because it's not the whole pie. I'm going to be doing more things like Nia. I want to go back to Nia dance classes, because that's just like a good way to listen to your body and move. Pandiculation. Do you know what pandiculation is? Pandiculation is like those those stretches that cats do. Just kind of feeling your body out and moving around in a way, just listening to your body, move it around. And it doesn't all have to be super duper strength training, even though I love strength training, but finding different ways to move your body, feel healthy, and move forward. This bodybuilding mindset, working out parts as opposed to the whole, I think can do more harm than good ultimately. Have you seen a video of Ronnie Coleman lately? Mr. Olympia. He was a guy I idolized when I first got into bodybuilding and stuff. He was like 6 or 8-time Mr. Olympia, huge beast of a man, just like 280 pounds of pure muscle, biggest lats you've ever seen. Lightweight, baby. You see those videos of him at Metroflex Gym? Loved those videos. Loved watching him deadlift and do like 400-pound barbell rows and stuff like that. I loved it. Ronnie Coleman, that's what I was all about. All those big ass bodybuilder dudes. That was rad. But he can barely move now. Ronnie Coleman, like he has to get help getting into from chair to chair. And he seems to be dealing with it well. He's got a smile on his face a lot of the time. He's had a super successful life and career, various careers, but that's not what you can tell that it's not healthy, and that his lifetime, the way he worked so hard, has led him to a pretty rough time later in life. And so just make sure that what you're doing feels good to your body, and that's what I'm really going to try to focus on moving forward, is like, how does it make my body feel, rather than like numbers on a scale or how I look or things like that. Even though it's fun and super empowering to be able to work out and make a change in your life, get to places you want to be. If you need to lose some weight or want to lose some weight, then do that. Get healthier, right? If you need to gain some weight to be healthier, try to do that. These are important things, yes. And strength training, resistance training, getting stronger, increasing weights, those things can help make that happen. But I just want to make sure that I'm not going overboard anymore. It led me to have a seizure, freaking A. And that's a super rare case. That doesn't happen for most everyone. One of my nurses, he was like, "You're not making me feel better about," because he was a big into weightlifting and he got a squat rack at home and stuff like that. He's like, "You're not making me feel any better about passing out when I work out, because I have one of those fears." And I'm like, you might. Sorry, you're probably not gonna, but just make sure to take it easy as well. So that's it. Yeah, I remember also when I was at the hospital a month ago. I was there for 3 nights. So today I'm recording on the 15th, and I left, I think, on the 16th. So yeah, I was. This was my last night and it was kind of nice being in the hospital. Once I think about it, it's like you're just there. People are taking care of you. A bunch of nice folks helping you out, flashing your junk unintentionally all the time. You got those hospital gowns on, and I remember as I was like moving from ICU into the regular CU, I said to my new nurse, I was like, "I feel like I've flashed everybody around here. Geez, I feel like I flashed half the hospital." She's like, "Oh," she said something like, "Oh, it's fine. I'm sure people don't mind with all the people that are flashing us all the time anyways." And I was like, "Oh, that's a little racy. That's a nice compliment." But like, yeah, like there's a bunch of, and I've talked with other nurses since, and people that I know who work at the hospital, and they're like, yeah, some people just do not care. They're like just legs spread open and like letting it be free in the wind, baby. And that wasn't, I was always conscious and trying to be considerate of others, even though I don't care. I'm fine being nude in front of other people. It doesn't matter. I've grown up in gyms and locker rooms my whole life. I go to the sauna. I've gone to Korean saunas living abroad, and the Ritz at OCF, like it's fine. Being nude in front of other people is fine. It's just a part of life. But it just kind of made me laugh that she was like, "Yeah, people, it's all good. People don't mind. Nurses are fine with it." But I wasn't like slanging my junk around just willy dilly. But yeah, so I'll be back in the hospital in a month, and it's an outpatient procedure, so I won't be staying. Yeah, so that's a good thing, and I'm just hopeful that I'll have some more space. Like I already feel some more space in my head already from the tumor being gone, because there's like literally physically less pressure in there. It just fills up with goo. It's like not like tumor, not Tommy like pushing on stuff. It's just goo, brain goo, spinal goo. And that's what it is. That's fine. I'm excited to continue forward and see how it feels in the not too distant future. It kind of looks wild, right? Looks like I've had this alien procedure on my head. Man, I've been watching so many alien shows and movies. I'm watching like 5 alien shows. What am I watching? Like Alien Earth, Invasion, Rick and Morty, uh, Resident Alien. I'm reading Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, watching Peacemaker. So there's like 5 or I've watched like 2 of the Alien movies, the prequels, um, Prometheus, and I watched all 3 of the 3 non-originals. Prometheus, Romulus, which is the new one, which is good, and there's another. I forget what the other name was, but I mean, it's like it feels good. I love alien exploring this idea of different like alien planets and paths. Like we're just tiny little specks. It helps me put stuff into perspective a little bit, even though we don't know what's out there. We don't know what kinds of worlds exist that are not our own. But you look at some videos online about the universe and how just tiny we are, and even the known universe, even though if we don't know what's happening on other planets, there's so much shit out there that we know so little about. And it helps me get out of this like this tiny super duper specific spot in my head that might not quite exist like it used uh, to think about what else could be out there, and just like what it means to be a human, and how silly we are, and how unlikely everything that happens is to happen. So it's fun, and it's fun to have a variety of different perspectives. You got the body horror of the Alien series, which is great. I've been loving that. And then digging into the world of the mythology of the alien universe as well has been pretty fun as well. uh, Watching a lot of this stuff with my mom is fun too. It's been really nice to connect with her. I think watching stuff with other people sometimes get a bad rap. Like, oh, it's not an active way to connect with other people. But sometimes especially when you're going through recovery or trying to get to know how you feel or just feel around other people, I think watching stuff together is a great way to connect and spend time in a low pressure environment, because that's what I need. I need to feel safe and welcome around others right now. And so watching stuff is a good way to do that. I keep trying to see movies with friends, but nobody's really like as into movies as I am around here, which is kind of a drag, especially because I can't drive. I'm happy to go to movies on my own. My mom and I saw my first movie post surgery. I went to see the Roses. We went to see the Roses together, which was good. A lot of fun. A very funny look at an abusive relationship, if not physically, then definitely verbally and emotionally in some ways. But it was a very funny movie. I laughed a lot. I'm still a lot of the times I'm the only person in the theater laughing at a joke. There's maybe 10 of us. But I'm trying to see Splitsville soon. So maybe if I see Splitsville, I'll do a little movie review of 2 movies about divorce. Because it's like Dante's Peak and Inferno coming out at the same time. It's 2 movies about funny movies about divorce. The Roses and Splitsville, feel like are like 2 sides of the same coin, or one side of the same coin shown in from different angles. But yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman are just fantastic actors. And oh my gosh, they had like this amazing life. And that's I think part of it. It's like your life can look so good and you can have it all, and you can still be miserable one way or another. I think ego got in the way a lot in that movie, but that's just because like you see how they lived. Even they were like, they built a dream house, but their original house was pretty damn good as well. I'm like, I would take that original house in a heartbeat. I'm in a tiny little cottage right now, and I'm hoping that someday I can do some renovations to add just a single room, just add one more room. um, but it's just been money hard, money hard. You know that? Did you know that about life and money? Money hard? Money hard. I need a money person because money hard. So, yeah, I'm enjoying my time off because I've got at least another month off. And then after that second procedure, I'll need to take a week before I can do physical stuff. So, um, I'm enjoying this time. I'm trying to soak it up because it's not often that you get this much time to just do nothing. That's why I'm watching so many shows. That's why I'm watching all this stuff about aliens, because I have the time and ability to do it. And I know that I don't always have that time and ability. So better freaking soak it up when I can, baby. Put it in that old hole in my brain right there. So got a bunch of extra space. It's about trying to rent it out to the local salamander community, but no takers yet. Not a good way to make money as of now. But I have, I did a show a couple weeks ago that went really well. I was really excited about it. I have one in October already booked. Um, and yeah, I think I'm okay just kind of taking things slower than I used to. I remember one of my first years in comedy, I made it a goal, and this was in Korea when I was living in Seoul. I made it a goal to perform 10 times a month. And this was when there was like one weekly mic, a couple monthly shows, and I would just count everything as one of those 10 monthly shows, 10 monthly mics or whatever performances. And whether that was like an open mic or a booked show, a feature set, an opening set, a hosting set, hosting a fundraiser or a burlesque show, or the freestyle rap show that I was a part of, Iron Mike, like all of those would be one of those 10 performances a month. And I remember I got to 120 that year when I was on my way to visit home in December in San Francisco. I did a mic and a laundromat, and that was like my 120th set of the year. And that's not where I'm at anymore. I love to see that people are still grinding like that, but especially in a market like mine, like in Eugene, which there's not always that many. For a lot of people, they're still doing that, and that's great. I think is awesome, but my body, my mind, literally can't take it, and honestly, and I need environments where I feel safe and where I feel welcome, and it's not always the case with comedy. Sometimes you do, but I'm learning that my tumor was in my right frontal lobe, and so that put so much pressure, and the right frontal lobe allows you to relax. It's the CEO of your body and mind in a lot of ways, and so not having full access to that, I was working from my lizard brain more, my amygdala. So that's one of those reasons why I wasn't able to like calm down. Why I wasn't one of those reasons why I wasn't able to just relax and feel like I was safe, because I was, but I didn't feel that way. And when our brains are still those lizard brains, and thousands of years ago, literally, it was life or death if we weren't connected socially. Now, it's not life or death, but it still feels like that. And so when I wasn't able to regulate that as much, I think it just wreaked havoc on my mind and my body. And that contributed to my heart and my brain and, my mental health challenges over the years. And so hopefully now that there's more space, that there's less pressure, I will have a greater sense of peace and less sense of life or death all the time. And then also, when I think about it, at the beginning of COVID, my mother almost died. This was like pre-COVID, this was like January of 2020. And then we got into COVID. So everything did feel like life or death. And so, it's as you get older, as you get to about my age, this is when parents start to pass away, unfortunately. And so that is stuff that you'll have to deal with. And my mom took a spill recently, and we went to the ER the same day that I went to the doctor. And so that brought up some stuff as well. Thankfully, there was no signs of like heart things. It's just she's got maybe a little bruise or whatever, but it was pretty unfortunate and kind of scary as well. So, but she's feeling all right. She's moving around, and I'm super duper thankful for that. And I'm thankful that we're able to support each other and help out and spend some good time together. It feels really nice to be able to watch all these shows and watch movies. Oh my gosh, have you seen The Fundamentals of Caring with Paul Rudd on Netflix? It's like a super good feel good movie about a guy who like watches a kid with what is it, some Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It's like really funny, really heartfelt, kind of like, kid who's got a fatal disease, won't live very long, and then Paul Rudd is his caretaker, and it's pretty darn funny. And so, especially for me, going through some like hard stuff and wanting to write about it and create, I'm writing jokes, I'm thinking about stories and shows and movie ideas that I could produce from it, write from it. It was a really great watch, tearjerker, super funny. The small, simple road trip kind of movie, and I really enjoyed it. Totally big recommend if you want to watch a feel good movie on Netflix. The Fundamentals of Caring, check it out. I totally dug it. Strong rec for basically anybody. So I'm thankful to be here still, to be chugging along. I'm thankful for that nomination in Eugene Weekly. Again, just that nomination feels really nice for Best Local Comedian, just because it makes me feel like I'm welcome, like I'm a part of something. And whether I win or not, again, I can't control that. I'd like to win. I think I'm deserving of winning. I've worked my ass off as a comedian for 15 years. I still am, even through this time, making the podcast, writing jokes, like doing shows. There's like, even though I'm not like as super active as I used to be, I'm still busting my butt. Comedy's still a big part of my life. I'm still excited to be a comedian, still excited to be asked to do shows. And I have to reach out to people to do shows as well. And so I'm excited to see there's a show. Yeah, the October 4th show at Fathoms at 8 p.m., Lexi's Comedy Club. I'm excited. It's a musical themed show, and I'm going to bust out an old song that I've written in addition to some of my brain tumor humor. My sense of tumor still remains. And so, yeah, I'm excited to continue to grow with this material because I think there's a lot, and I'm excited to like work on, for lack of a better term, a one-man show about it. Like I think it's something that is really unique and interesting and funny and personal and human. And so I'll be chugging along, doing my thing-a-lang, and I hope you will too. What are you working on? What's something that you're excited about? So I'm excited to get back into interviews. Like I said, I've talked with some previous guests of the show and some new guests as well. Yeah. So I'm excited to continue to do that. But I also like these solo episodes, just kind of like talking about what's going on. Feels good. I know people appreciate it, and I have a good time making it. So thanks for checking it out. 90 straight weeks, dog. 90 straight weeks of Rudy Tuesdays. So that's something that not most people get to. And I'm excited to continue to do my thing in this way. So thanks for being a part of it. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being you. And yeah, let me know what you're working on. jokesandthegym@gmail.com. Find me on the socials, Jokes and the Gym, or Rudy Tyburczy, RUDYTYBURCZY. That's my name. And yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being yourself. Until next time, we'll see ya. Adios. Bye bye bye. Annyeong. Aloha. Sayonara. Wiedersehen. Hotta.
Jokes in the gym. Jokes in the gym. Not jokes in the gym. Jokes in the gym. Jokes in the gym. With Rudy Tyburczy.